The year is 2009, and millions of people all across the UK are gathered round their TV watching shaky hidden camera footage from the inside of a casino. This is the fourth episode in a series of TV specials by none other than Derren Brown, who is about to place a £5,000 bet on one single number on the roulette wheel. The twist is, the money isn't his own. And what happens next, it's safe to say, no one saw coming. And it tells us a lot about Derren Brown's secretly genius techniques that he has used to become one of the most successful magicians of all time. This is The Secret Genius of Derren Brown. It should come as no surprise that I am a huge fan of Derren Brown, and this is a man who is responsible for some of the most iconic moments in all of magic. Playing Russian roulette on live TV, subliminally convincing a group of middle managers to conduct a bank heist. I could go on, there are so many things that Derren Brown has done, but today I want to hone in on one of the lesser known TV specials, How to Take Down a Casino. You might ask yourself why I'm choosing this one in particular when there are so many great ones to choose from, and it's because of what happens at the end. Now, in the first 24 seconds of the opening of How to Take Down a Casino, Derren Brown articulately explains what is about to happen. He has convinced a stranger, a member of the public, to give him £5,000 and then wipe their memory of them ever doing it. He is then going to walk into a casino and place all the money on one number. And with a payout of 35 to 1 on a single number, the returns could be £175,000. So the stage is set for a dramatic ending and a really uplifting ending to the show. Over the next 45 minutes, Derren Brown explains how he could theoretically win at certain casino games, specifically roulette. As with a lot of his specials, it's all about the build-up towards the end. It's all about going through the journey, going through the process, and ultimately building the tension for the final stunt, the final moment, which in this case takes place in an undisclosed location in Europe with hidden cameras rigged around the place, and he is going to put £5,000 of this poor man's money on one single number. I can't imagine how he was feeling. They literally call him up live during the show and tell him that he's going to be part of it, whisk him out of his house, put him in a van, and he is watching his money being bet on the roulette wheel. It makes for very, very good TV. It's one of those bizarre moments. During the course of the program, there are trial runs where Derren seemingly demonstrates the ability to track a ball and know where it's going to land with perfect precision, which of course will play a massive role when it comes to winning the money. And so, it is time for the final stunt. He enters the casino, he takes his chips, he places the bet, 8, and the ball spins in the roulette wheel. Silence falls over the viewers at home, and then this happens.
Oh, 1 out.
And that's the show. There's no payoff. There's no attempt number 2. It just goes wrong. 45 minutes of build-up, and that is the payoff. You can probably already tell why I want to talk about this special in particular, because it feels so vastly different to every other Derren Brown special. There's no moment of success, there's no moment of triumph, there's no uplifting, heartwarming ending or conclusion. It just kind of fizzles out. We get Derren Brown's muffled voice through the microphone, apologising and walking away.
Ben, I'm sorry. Ben, that was 1 out. I will give you your money back, I'm sorry.
Now, of course, this isn't the first time that a magician has got something wrong. There have been tricks that have failed, of course, that happens occasionally. But to have an entire TV special dedicated to a stunt at the end that fails is sort of unheard of, and if it does happen, there's often a twist, a reveal that, aha, the magician actually did get it right, and Derren Brown has used this technique himself of often being one step ahead. There's a twist, there's a clever little moment of, I actually did get it right. But there's nothing here, there's none of that, there's no cop-out. It just goes wrong. Personally, I think this is absolutely fascinating, and it gets even more fascinating when you consider the possibility that it was always going to go wrong, that it was planned from the start to fail. You might ask yourself, why would Derren Brown construct an entire TV special to fail at the end? So let's talk about that possibility. It's no secret that the pretense of failure is used a lot in the plots of magic tricks. How often have you seen a magician pretend to get something wrong and then save the day? It's a good dramatic twist to add. The trap collapses and it appears like the magician has died on stage, only for them to be unharmed at the back of the auditorium a few seconds later. In Russian roulette, there's that brilliant moment where he lifts the gun and he thinks he knows which chamber the bullet's in, only to pull the trigger and nothing happens. It's a fantastic moment of television, and it elevates the drama so much more, because if the magician just looks like they know what they're doing and, this is a walk in the park, there's no drama, there's no tension, because the audience are expecting the magician to succeed. Whereas if the magician is slightly wrong-footed, in that case, Derren Brown does not know where the bullet is, or it appears like he does not know where the bullet is, that adds a lot of drama to the situation. He puts the gun on the table, and he just waits. He thinks things over, and you can see the cogs whirring. Without that moment, Russian roulette has no impact. But my theory is this: audiences are getting wise to this. They know that when a trick goes wrong, don't worry, we'll just wait a few seconds and there'll be the backup plan. And especially with Derren Brown's style of magic, where he doesn't want it to look easy, he wants it to look like a real skill that takes a lot of work, that takes a lot of brain power and thinking, and a lot of strategy that goes into it. In order to sell that, in order to convince the audience that this is difficult, the occasional failure is needed to remind the audience, oh yeah, this is actually a skill that takes a lot of practice. And we even see examples of that in Derren Brown's early work, the sort of street magic style mind reading that he did. There are a lot of examples in those episodes of where Derren gets it wrong, where he can't win the game, where he can't read their mind, where he can't wipe their memory, whatever he's trying to do.
When you think about it, it's just gone far too quickly. And so if you really think about it now, what's stop thinking about it now? What's stop thinking about it when you're getting off that? What's the stop?
Charing Cross.
Charing Cross. Excellent. All right.
And those moments just elevate the perception of difficulty. But why do it on a grander scale? Why have an entire special dedicated to failure? Well, firstly, this wasn't a standalone stunt. It was part of a series of stunts called The Events, the most famous of which is where Derren Brown predicted the outcome of the National Lottery. So to start with such a high and to end with a failure kind of puts into question whether the others could have gone wrong as well. But more importantly, it all comes down to drama. What makes for good TV? Well, a magician messing up a stunt, in my opinion, that is good TV, that is memorable. And people secretly want magic to go wrong in a weird way. They want to see that it's difficult, and they want to see that this person that can do the impossible will occasionally fail. I think it's also worth mentioning that Derren Brown was at a very good point in his TV career, and one failed special would not damage his reputation. If anything, it adds to it. And those are my thoughts on the secret genius of Derren Brown. I hope you enjoyed this video, a little bit different to the usual style, but I want to experiment around with little mini documentaries like this in the future. So if you did enjoy it, make sure to hit the thumbs up button down below and subscribe to the channel if you're new and you want to see more content like this. Leave a comment down below, let me know what I should talk about next, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.